Hi, I'm Ray. There's some old phrase saying, "Knout the clout till the end of May," or something similar to that. But I've kind of changed that phrase to not planting out till the end of May. And I'm going to plant out our tomatoes. This is one of the tomatoes that we've got. And this was a little one that we grew. We potted it up a couple of times and now it's ready for growing. So I'm just going to show you a few different ways of planting tomatoes. So keep in touch and let me know if you do any of these ways. So one of the first jobs I'm going to do is just got these old pots. I'm just going to cut the holes out the bottom. And once we plant our tomatoes in our pots, the roots can go deeper into our bed. Then we're going to plant our plant into the pot on top of the bed. Gives us more contact with the stem, and so we can plant it deeper. So I'm going to do the others and then we can plant our tomatoes. So the first tomato I'm going to plant is in a bucket. Standard bucket, it's got holes in the bottom, and we're going to be using a halo on top. These can be purchased from garden centres or online. So I'm just going to fill up the bucket with compost. And then the halo goes on top. We can take our tomato plant, put it in the hole. Going to do it quite deep, just going to take off the lower leaves there. And then we're going to fill it up right to the top, cover as much as the stem as we can, and then new roots will grow from the stem and we'll pick up all the nice nutrients from there. Try and keep the halo free because this is how we water for the top. And there we are. That's the first ones planted. So it's nice and deep in a bucket. It's going to go nice and tall. Wonderful. So that's the first one planted. So this next method is called tomato ring culture. Ring culture is where a bottomless pot sits on a porous base, and it prevents root disease and also gives the roots plenty of moisture to absorb. So we can use gravel. I'm using perlite. Just filling the tray of the saucer. I'm using this bottomless pot, placing it on our bed perlite, fill it up with compost, and then we're adding our tomato plant. In the middle. There we go. You can plant it nice and deep. And then the moisture, water from the bottom This one's going to sit in the greenhouse, and the water's going to come up from the bottom, watered in the saucer, and that's called tomato ring culture. Using a Morrison's bucket that are widely available from the stores. There we go. That gets the water. And away we go, it's going into the greenhouse. And that's where it shall stay. Water from the bottom. Then the water can come up. So this next tree going to be planting into the bed direct, and we're using 3 different ways. We're using these pots that have got a hole on the bottom so we can do deep. I'm going to put one here, one here, and one on the end. But what we're going to add into these are 3 slightly different things. The first one we're going to add is oats. And we're going to sprinkle the oats on the bottom. And oats should give out some nutrients. Cover over with a bit of compost. Then we're going to add our tomato plant. Just going to take away that lower level and plant that one in there. This is all a bit of an experiment to see what grows best. And then the next one I'm going to do is sardines. And these are sardines straight from the supermarket, and they're in brine, which is water, slightly salted water, and we're just going to put those straight in the bottom of our pot. It's a bit stinky, but once they break down, it's going to give our tomato plant some nice nutrients. There's always lots of talk about using fish heads, so I'm using sardines as a way of experimenting. And then this tomato is going to go into this pot with the sardines. A way of just disguising the sardines is sprinkling a bit of coffee grounds. I see that watching the old television programs where they're bringing the drugs in and they use coffee grounds to hide the smell, and this can be done the same for our tomatoes. And then the last one I'm going to do is using an egg. So when the egg breaks down, it's going to give nutrients. So I'm sticking the egg in our pot and covering it up. There we go. So there we go, we've got all our tomatoes out. So planting the marigolds will attract predators such as ladybirds, and they'll feast on any aphids or any other bugs which will come around. And there's also help attract the bees. So planting a few marigolds is going to benefit the tomato plants.